Okay. Next, the last section, we have layout sets. What is layout set is a layout set basically a look and feel of how your time card fields will be appearing on the time card. As we defined, there is a cost center. How do we see that in the time card? There's a payroll, there's a, those multiple attribute that is your payroll time types or time types, how you'll see that in the time card. So that is all configured under layout sets. Uh, Now there could be different layout sets. So there are some delivered layout sets also, but rather than using them, it's better to create your own layout sets. Now the delivered layouts are predefined. There is a time entry layout, approval notification, time view, calendar entry, and uh, responsive UI basically. Time entry layout is basically where the layout or the time card screen you'll be seeing when you're creating the time card. Then
Bala, where we
time
can
approve.
see this right now? Can you show where we can see this delivered layouts ideally?
Yeah, I'll take you to the system demo now. You'll get to know how where you can see this. Then you have time approval notification, which is the basically time card where which shows that this is the time card which will be shown when you're approving the time card, then when you're only viewing the time card, and the calendar entry layout where you're reporting the time. So I think this calendar entry layout should be replaced with the responsive UI, but I'll show you in the system now. Again, the navigation goes same, search, define time and labor, and after entry layout components, you have the next task as time layout sets. You can create a new layout set. So additional layouts to include, you can include a responsive UI. You can include a manager kind of layouts. So manager layouts are basically which we saw from the manager self-service, and you can create a shift layout as well. Then time consumer, that who will consume your time, project costing or payroll. So if you're implementing projects, you will select project costing. If you're implementing both, then both, and according to your requirements. But for demo, I'll be choosing payroll,
Bala,
time
can you?
consumer. Okay. So this is the time entry layout, basically. Uh, how it looks for the, when a time card gets created. So as you can see, we have assignment numbers, we have payroll time type. So these are some seeded values which are already there. Now, if you need to add, if you need to do some changes, you need to edit the layout. Now here you'll be attaching your layout components, whatever we have created in the last setup configuration step. That your layout components will actually be you know attached here, so that all these time card fields will be visible on your time cards. So as assignment number is already seeded, so I have not created it. I will attach our OTL training layout component that we have created. So these are some weird errors which we get in time and labor, but It is nothing that there is a mistake in configurations or something like that. Only what happens is that in OTL, very common thing happens is that your layout sets, your layout components gets corrupted. So in that case, what we need to do is we need to create a new layout component, a new layout set. So this is a very common problem in OTL which occurs frequently. So I think due to that only this happened. Let's see if we are able to add it. Let me try to create it again and see. So with this configure layout arrow, we actually go inside each and every layout and configure those layouts. Okay, so again, we'll go to edit layout. Let's see if now system allows us to add. Apologies for disruption, guys, but I'll just give you an overview of how do we, attach layout sets, how do we create it. I think there is some system error which is coming and it's not allowing us to add our layout component that we have created. So, okay, but this is the way through which you create your layout component, your layout sets. I'll again click on edit layout.
What is that limit it is saying, Bhavana? Limit reached out something.
Actually, what happens that I'm saying, it's sometimes, you created a layout component, but because we are working on this, demo instance on an OTL and we're doing certain transactions. So due to that, sometimes that error comes, but it is not, any error due to your time component or whatever you have configured. This is just basically a system error which is very common and which comes in OTL. So majorly, if I try to create this layout set with the same component in some time, or maybe I think after 2 to 3 hours or tomorrow morning, it will be done. So these are some weird errors which we need to bear as a OTL consultants, basically.
Bhavana, can you create with the default value assignment number, payroll time type?
Yeah, I'm explaining it with default only now.
Okay.
Yes. So yeah, this will be your assignment number. This some default seeded value, seeded payroll time type component that is configured. Then we have a time entry identifier. We can keep payroll time type as time entry identifier. It's a good practice to keep one, so that when you'll be raising time card and before submitting a time card, you can actually see that how many hours are reported under, you know, which value. So that is that. So these are time card fields. Then we have time entry properties. This is for enable entry of negative hours if you want to do any negative hour entry. If you need to do any midnight entries which are spanning midnight, so any entry after 12 if you need to do that. So you need to check on this flag, otherwise system won't allow you to do any midnight entries. Then if you need to display the UOM, so basically if as we discussed, if it is an hours kind of entry or it is a units kind of entry. So while check if you check box on this particular check mark, you can actually see that uh, you have 8 hours of entry you have done and another is units entry. So that unit of measure can be done. Then you have time entry format. You can display start and end times. You can display only hours. You can display hours and times both. Hours and times adds in the hours and start and end time both. Then this is default blank rows. So basically, whenever you create a time card, there would be default number of rows, blank rows, which would be there. So you keep generally it as 5, and your date format is basically, if you see here, it's Wednesday, August 21. So this is your date format according to the things you have selected. If you select any other date format, it will change accordingly. So if, for example, I do this. Once I save and close this, it will change this. I'll show you. I'll keep it as January 1 Monday. Then click on next. Under row level details, you basically mention your dependent fields. The dependent attributes that we created, you can actually select it here. Okay. Because we haven't added the independent one, so it's not allowing us to add. But here, as you saw that in the drop down, we got the option of dependent time card field. So yes, you can add the dependent time card field here and the label on the time card. So what happens? You only just understand the fields, but I'll show you the layout that we have created. We'll solve the error tomorrow, and I'll show you the layout set of whatever we have configured, how it will show in the time card. I'll show you that tomorrow. But just please cooperate and understand the fields for now. It's just a system error. I am not. Oh, I can't do anything in that. Okay. Uh, Then display properties, that is the label on the time card. So that is basically you can say it as additional attributes. So under additional attributes, there would be a new field with payroll time type, a new field which will be opening, which will be called additional attributes, or you can change the name whatever you like. And under that additional attribute, you will have your workforce model, that is your dependent field. Then clicking on next, you have comments if you want to, want any comments. If you don't want comments to be displayed on the time card or where you want it, so that kind of configuration you can done here. You can do here.
Uh, Bhavna, we had created
Yes.
another independent time attribute cost center. So if we have to add that, do we have to add that in time card matrix?
Yes. We'll
Okay,
add that in time
thank
card
you.
matrix only.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And then we have the entry level details. So there are certain display properties that you, if you want to create anything, you can select from here. So these are also dependent fields basically. So you can, so these are basically the entry level and these are the row level details. Entry level details are for the whole time card. So you'll see it on the basically on the whole time card. But for row level details, it is, sorry, it will be for the different rows for different time entries that you will be doing. So and that is, and next you can save and close. Just a second. And you can just save and close. Now you get this warning of copying your edits to your other layouts. So we mostly select it as yes because majorly the configurations that you're doing would be same for each and every layout, whether it's entry or approval or responsive. So I'll select it as yes. So you don't have to configure to each and every layout and do the entries. So as you can see, because we have changed the date format, so now the date format is changed according to the formats that we have done. So this is how your time card will be looking as a when you'll be creating the time as a time entry. So time review, it's the same as the time entry layout. It's just you have the calculated time here. Whatever time is reported will be calculated in the bottom. You can edit this as well if you want to, you know, do any changes or anything you want to add it here. We can do that. Same goes for time review, same is for time view. Time view is also the same layout. Sorry, not much differences here. Here also the same options are there. Click on edit layout. You can just add if you want to add any fields. You can display UOM if you want to, highlight any overtime periods if are there. So you can highlight that. So those sort of uh, play arounds you can do in the layout sets. And the other one would be responsive UI that I would like to show you. The system is slow. Okay. So here we have certain things that I should explain. So this is I think this is the earlier one, but now we have shifted to Redwood. I don't think it is applied here, but so here this is a responsive layout. How you can say it. So these details is your total hours. This is your report. Here you can see the bifurcation of reported and calculated hours. So how much are they reported if 40 hours are reported and 44 hours are calculated? So these kind of calculations you can see here. Then you have scheduled hours where majorly your reported and calculated hours are same. So scheduled hours means that how many hours are scheduled for the employee to work. Then we have scheduled deviation. Scheduled deviation is nothing but the difference between total hours and scheduled hours. That what is the deviation between the time reported and what was the hours that was scheduled for the employee to work. And then we have absence hours. If there are any absences which are raised in the time cards, or yeah, if there are any present in the time card, so those kind of absence hours you'll be seeing here. So this is basically for information purpose. But here also you can control it. You can either hide these values, if you can see it show or unshow, you can either hide this, or if you want to create create a new value. So what happens is a very basic requirement majorly happens that if maybe there are public holiday hours, or there are the client wants that the total hours or should be calculated only for basic hours or regular hours which are entered by the employee. No other hours that is reported under any time type should be shown in the time card. So in that case, we will create a time category. So time category is basically where you categorize your, different values or different time types. So you can create a time category of your own. You can mention there that you only want the values of, payroll time for regular hours, and you can add it here, and you can show or unshow according to your needs. This is for hourly, this is for units. So hourly is for any time types or any elements that are configured as hours, and units are for any, elements configured as units. So if I uncheck this schedule deviation, you'll see that schedule deviation will not be there in the time card. So this is one layout which is editable. Now the other one, uh, we click on this edit layout. Now we have default view. Basically, we have a certain views under responsive UIs. We have detailed view, we have summary view, and the same is for calculated. So under reported details is you say a detailed entry of your reported hours. Under reported summary, you see a summary of your reported hours. So what do I mean by summary is that if you have entered, 10 hours under regular hours, if you have entered 2 hours under certain allowance, suppose meal allowance. So in details, you will see the day-wise entry that you have done. Under summary, you will see the sum of the hours which are reported under regular and the sum of the hours which are reported under meal. So that is the summary. The same happens with calculated. So whatever calculation is done according to the reported time, that's how your details and summary view you can view here. Then again, it is the same. You add your, layout components that we have done. So you can select that entry identifier. We have this in show in additional attribute. So this is what is that there is once you create a time card, there are certain fields which you see in an additional attribute field. So that is related to your, if we remember that we were creating the dependent fields, there we gave the label as additional attribute. So if you want that these values should be present there, you can checkbox this. Then this is edit with change request, that if you want to, you know, edit these fields also, if you request for a change in your time entries, you can do that. If you don't want this entries to be editable, you only want your hours to be editable, so you can keep it as unchecked. Then it is again same, your time entry properties, entry of negative hours, time to span midnight. Then you have unit of measure display. Then you have, enable editing of hours and time with change request. So if you are changing requests, you enable the editing of your hours. So by this you do that. Then this time entry format, all these things are same. Then these are some other fields, that owner, internal source comments. These are just information purpose. There's nothing which affects you to this. So this is your reported time. Now the second field is your calculated time. So why they have given this bifurcation is, like, there could be a scenario where you have two layout components configured, one which we'll be using for reporting and one we will be using for calculating. Because there would be certain elements which will not be used for reporting, which will not come under, drop down, but it will be present under your calculated section. For example, as we were discussing about, uh, yesterday we were discussing about basic hours and overtime. So here, this basic hours we can keep under reported time. So this will be our reported layout component, and overtime can be kept in the calculated time. So here you will create a different layout of calculated layout component. So for that purpose, this reported time and calculated time bifurcation is given, that if there are any extra values or any extra time type values are there which you don't want to show under, reported time, so you can create a different component for calculated time and you can uh, attach it here, and all other fields are the same. So yeah, this is what responsive UI
So,
is.
so in that scenario, reported time will be 8 and calculated time will be 2, right?
Yes. So basically, reported time under basic hours will be 8. So this will be the calculation view. Basic hours would be 8, overtime will be 2. So if you see it from the reported section, so basically if I say with any view, you can select that view from here. As we were discussing the views, the reported details or reported summary, if you select any of the view of reported view, you will only able to see basic hours, you'll not be able to see overtime. But if you select any view which is calculated view, you'll be able to see basic hours and overtime both. Clear? Okay. So this was our responsive UI layout. And the same is for approval notification, approval, not same, but it is the same as the entry layouts and other layouts. Okay. So this is our approval layout. How it is
So,
like whenever
what is the meaning of this approval layout and notification layout? What is the basic differences when you see as an uh, those who are not knowing about OTL, so how they can differentiate from the
see,
screen perspective?
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. In time entry layout, but what we saw before, it is only for creating the time card where you'll only report hours. Okay. Then if you go to time review layout,
Time review layout is for managers or for employees also?
it's for managers. Time entry, time review, time view, it's for managers and admins. So
Time entry for employee, right? Time entry.
for employee, we use responsive. The error that you were getting that responsive UI is not enabled. So that is for employee we get. So time entry, time view, time review, this layout is shown under, admin or managers basically. So see, your time review is where you have your reported hours and your calculated time. So when it pops up, when after your time, after a time entry, I'll show you. After your creation of time card, there's a next, if you can see here. When you click on next, you come on time review layout. Here you will review your timings. What are your reported time? What is your calculated time? And then you will submit your time card from here, from this option. Then what is time view layout is if there are any existing time card and if you just need to view that time card, what are my entries? So you will view it from according to this layout. Though the look and feel, everything is same. I understand that what is the difference, but it's just the different pages after which these particular views are coming. So you can change whatever you want to do it here. Then responsive, we discussed for employees to raise the time cards. Then we have time approval notification layout. So this actually comes when the time card is sent to approval to the managers. So basically, how do we do it? We actually see it through in this bell icon. So whenever a time card is, submitted and is went to approval, a manager will get a notification that there's a time card which is pending for approval. So whenever an manager, will click on the hyperlink, which will be for the time cards. So this particular layout will be opened up where it will show the employee details. It will show the time card period for which it is. If there are any overtime periods configured, it will show that. If there are any comments, the status of the time card, if there are any resubmission of the time cards, each and everything will be shown. Then it will show the reported time of the employee, what is the time reported, and the calculated time, what is the time calculated. For the managers to view it under one screen, managers can view this under this approval notification. Here also, if we edit layout, it's the same as our entry, review, and view layout, the same as we have configured there. You can go and explore different options of how it works and everything.
Mona, can you scroll up,
Hmm.
please? Scroll up. Here we have worker and managers in the left hand side.
Hmm.
So what this signifies?
So basically, for every layout, we have different views. That for worker, this kind of view you'll be looking, but if you log in as a manager, so this kind of view is looking. So basically, this worker and manager does not make any sense if you are working for, approval layout, or if you are, working on entry layouts, or that view and
Does
review
this mean that
layouts.
does this mean that why worker and manager both are appearing? Is this mean that this Curtis Fitty is an employee as well as a manager? So as an employee, he can go to worker and then he can
Not
see.
approval notification. So basically, what could be the difference is that there could be certain scenarios where we say that the work once your time card gets approved, the worker gets a notification of FYI kind of notification that your time card got approved. So that notification also you get under this bell icon.
No, I'm not
So
asking from that perspective. I'm not asking from the notification perspective. What I'm saying, in this page, if you look at worker and managers, two options are here. So is it because
mhm.
this employee Curtis Fitty is having a role of an employee as well as he's a
No,
manager?
no, 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 no.
No.
It is standard. It is standard.
So
It is
even though
standard.
somebody
If
is even though somebody is just an employee, not a line manager, we'll have these two options.
No, no, Ashutosh.
Worker.
Actually, see, you are actually using this time layout set setup task as an admin. This person information that they have shown here. It's just for, information purpose, that for from this employee of login, these kind of details you will see. This is the name, assignment number, location, and everything. But it's not anything related to the current login that we have done or the current credentials I've logged in through. It
So
is
any
nothing related
so
to that.
okay. So anybody who is an employee also, you mean that once he will log in, he will be having worker and manager option.
But employee login will not be able to do the setup tasks, right?
Yeah,
I've
correct.
before
Yeah,
starting the configuration, I've
yeah. My client
mentioned.
group. Yeah, my client group option will not be there. Got
Yes,
it.
correct.
So since this is having, so that is why we are saying. Okay, I will
Yes.
look at.
Hmm. So yeah, these are the layouts that we do. After that, we can just click on save, or you can just click on save and close. And your layout sets got created. I'll solve that error today, and I'll show you the layout set that we have created, or whatever layout components we have created. I'll take some time tomorrow and I'll show you that. So yeah, these are how your layout sets are created.